So today we obviously have some huge news to talk about coming out of the competitive Counter-Strike world, the esports world, but obviously all of this stuff is intertwined. The competitive scene, the in-game side, and the markets and the investing scene are all intertwined in a bunch of different ways. When one of these is doing well, the others are going to do well. They're all going to be just combined with each other. So if you are just an investor and don't watch esports or don't play the game or whatever, you still want these other sides to do well, and you still want to know what's going on. And the big news today, as you can see right here, is that S1mple is coming back to CS2. So we're going to be talking about what exactly he said, what that means, what the timeline is, what to expect, and how overall this should be good news for the Counter-Strike markets and the Counter-Strike game in general. Of course, first, let me plug my cash trading business real quick. If you guys haven't already heard, you can sell me your items, your CS2 items, anything and everything for cold hard cash or crypto or whatever other payment method you're looking for. Hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below, so you guys can actually turn your items into money safely, efficiently, easy. You don't have to worry about getting scammed or any weird stuff happening or just getting instant cash, which obviously can be very, very convenient. Of course, by selling to me as well, you're helping support me, my channel, and my content. So I'd appreciate that a ton. With that being said, let's get right into this. So first up, I just wanted to show you what the man himself, S1mple, had to say. I have this clip on Ozny's channel. Really, really cool CS YouTuber and Twitter personality and stuff. Just a great person in the CS scene. He obviously posted this from like the ESL broadcast. It's not his, but it's on his channel, and I wanted to give him a shout out because I think he's a cool guy who I've interacted a little bit with over the past couple months. But here is S1mple announcing his return to CS2 competitive. Let's see what S1mple has to say.
Okay, I want to be on this stage. I want to play.
A bit, yeah. When I came here between Ents and Falcons, the third map, there were so many people and I was enjoying it a lot. Like, I'm not saying I had goosebumps, but it was so beautiful to watch, so beautiful to see it in crowd and just enjoy.
The goosebumps come when you're on the stage playing again, and I want to know this, Sasha. I think the whole world, the whole community wants to know this. When are you coming back? Are you coming back?
I hope after major, because I'm a sixth player for NaVi on this major, but I hope nothing gonna happen with their roster because they were practicing really hard after I took break. And I just want them to progress, and let's see what's gonna happen after major.
Subscribe for daily.
So obviously, S1mple said there that his plan is to return after the major. Now, if you don't know, the Copenhagen major is going to be going on in March. I believe it's like the middle to end of March or whatever. So this would be putting our timeline at about an April return for S1mple back to competitive Counter-Strike 2, which would definitely give him plenty of time to get ready for the next major. We'll talk about that in a second, but I want to go over what this article has to say as well, just to give you guys some of the background and what's been going on. It's worth mentioning that S1mple took a break from competition on October 26th of 2023, citing health issues and personal reasons. I know he was also just kind of like tilted off the face of the earth at this time. He was saying that CS2 was trash. He was mad about what they did to the op. He was saying the game sucks. But of course also, saying health reasons, mental reasons, whatever, personal reasons, all this different stuff. I think there was just a lot going on. I think some of that was showing, but also historically, obviously, he's not exactly a player with a great mental, and throw personal life and health reasons and stuff in there, and stuff can get ugly pretty quick. And I thought definitely his behavior and some of the stuff he was saying and acting like was a little bit ugly and was definitely a stain of some of what was going on. So I'm happy that he did take a break, but of course I'm happy if he is returning as well. The last tournament he participated in with NaVi was the ESL Pro League Season 18, where the team finished second. S1mple said, hey, I'm currently the sixth man for NaVi. I hope that nothing happens with this lineup as they're training a lot. I want them to progress and we'll see what happens. He also says he never stopped playing CS. He didn't want to train he didn't train as much as before, but he never stopped playing. Now he feels good and he's ready to return to competitive. So, like I said, he hasn't played since the end of October, which now that was 5 months ago. Copenhagen Major, we can pull up right here and see the dates for it. Copenhagen Major is going to end on March 31st, so it's literally taking us all the way up to the end of March. So, he's talking about like an April 1st or a late March, early April return. By the time that comes around April, from October to April, that's going to be about 5 or 6 months of him not playing competitive. But again, when we take a look at the Shanghai major, we can see that this starts on December 1st. So from April to December, he will have like a 6-7 month gap by the time qualifiers and stuff like that start, or whatever's going to happen for NaVi. So he will have about 6 or 7 months to actually return to his full competitive form and be in a position to help NaVi compete for a championship or try to win a championship or major title or whatever. So he definitely has plenty of time. The schedule definitely looks like it's working out okay. Obviously, we would love to see S1mple at Copenhagen, and it's going to be a big disappointment that he's not going to be there. But you also heard him say that he is going to be the sixth man. Like he said, he hopes that nothing happens to his lineup, but I wonder if we could see s1mple potentially jumping into a match here or there, especially what if NaVi comes out flat? What if NaVi comes out in poor form? What if NaVi gets to a point where they're in a do or die match where their team has looked really bad or one player looks bad? There's also the possibility that somebody could always get injured or sick or whatever, and s1mple could have to come in. So yes, s1mple is saying he's expecting his return to not happen until after the major, but if he's the sixth man and he's on this roster and he's been training and he's ready to go, we could be seeing him sooner rather than later. Now, of course, one question I have, and I don't really know how this all works, I've never really looked into this before, I tried to Google it real quick, couldn't really find any answers. If s1mple is going to be the sixth man for this roster, does that mean he's going to get an autograph for the Copenhagen Major or not? Now, I'm not sure. Somebody will have to let me know about that information. Obviously, I'm sure teams have had six-man rosters before, and I don't know if they've gotten stickers before or whatever, but either way, I could definitely see an exception being made for s1mple because, of course, every single major, s1mple is one of the most popular autographs, and he makes himself a ton of money, he makes NaVi a ton of money, and he makes the other teams a ton of money, he makes the tournament organizer a ton of money, and he makes Valve a ton of money as well with people trying to rip open capsules to get that s1mple hollow or that s1mple gold or that s1mple glitter or whatever. So, hey, even if it's not typical, I could definitely see them allowing for s1mple to get an extra major in the sticker. But either way, if he's on the roster and has the potential to play in a game, I think they should give him an autograph, and I think it's normal what they did, but I don't know for sure if that's how it works. I don't know if you only get 5 per team or what, but again, s1mple saying he is going to be the sixth man on the roster for this major, and that means we could potentially see him in a match. Now, how has NaVi been doing without him? According to the HLTV rankings, they're currently the number 3 team in the world, but they have not exactly been performing like that as of late. They're coming off a 2-0 defeat to the Falcons at Katowice. They also lost 2-1 to Team Spirit. Obviously, everyone has been losing to Spirit, and yes, they did take a game off them, and Donk, the eventual Katowice champions. And before that, they'd been looking pretty good. During the qualifiers, they beat Ecstatic, they beat 9 Pandas, they beat Virtus Pro, Complexity, G2. That's all great, but a lot of these teams aren't even that great and haven't been in that good of form, and they get to Katowice, they lose to Spirit, they beat Apex, they beat Eternal Fire, and then eventually lose 2-0 to Falcons. And we can see here that their next match coming up is that European RMR A qualifiers for Copenhagen on February 14th. That is just 3 days from the time that I'm recording this video, but I think probably 2 days from this video has been coming out. Obviously, you can see here with Alex Sieb, IM, B1T, JL, and Wonderful. We'll have to see how they can do. But I know that, especially during this matchup with Falcons and all the matches where they've been losing, a lot of people are just saying, hey, NaVi is still a very good team. Obviously, they are still very talented. They have great players, but they're missing that spark. They're missing that X factor. And at the big events, on the big stages, against the big teams and in the big matches, a player like s1mple, playing at his best or even playing just in good form, is that guy who's going to be able to put you over the edge. So I know people obviously say this team is talented, but are they the number 3 ranked team in the world right now? Probably not. And they're a good team, but can they be a great team? Can they be a world-class team? Can they be the best team in the world without s1mple? I don't exactly know. And obviously there's a ton of hype right now around CS2. There's a ton of hype around the new update that just came out. There's another ton of hype around the Copenhagen Major in general. And not having s1mple there is a big hit, but I also know that obviously s1mple is a competitor at heart, and obviously him seeing this Katowice tournament probably got him itching a little bit, probably made him want to come back, and I think that's going to happen even more so after this Copenhagen Major where he sees somebody else holding up that trophy. He's definitely going to be itching, he's definitely going to be coming back. I know there was previously some speculation about s1mple maybe going to another team or whatever, but obviously this makes it sound a lot like he will just be returning to NaVi, so that's great, that's exciting for NaVi fans. We'll have to see how that goes, but there's also a ton of hype around a ton of young players right now. Obviously, you have a guy like Zywoo who ended CSGO very hot. You have guys like Monacy who are coming up in the scene and looking to make a name for themselves. But you also have a guy like Donk who just absolutely dominated that Katowice tournament and is now looking to ride that momentum into Copenhagen and make a big splash for himself. And we know, again, s1mple doesn't like to share the spotlight. We know s1mple probably wants to stick it to guys like Zywoo, like Monacy, and like Donk as well to remind them who the GOAT is, remind the boss is. And like I said, people love s1mple. So there's a lot of great things going on for CS right now in the markets in general. This new update, the major CS2. But obviously having s1mple back is going to increase viewership for the esports. It's going to get more people talking. It's going to get more content created. And in the long run, that'll be better for the game. That'll be better for the markets. And that'll be better for the esports side as well. So yes, I think s1mple needed a break. I'm glad he got a break. But I'm also glad that he's going to be returning sooner rather than later to the competitive CS2 scene. And even in a weird and indirect way, that'll be good for everybody. That'll be good for investors. and sticker holders and people who play the game and people who love the esport, and it'll be better for the entire ecosystem. So in that way, even if indirectly, I'm happy that S1mple is going to be returning as well, and it's definitely just good news. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.